Coffee with Andy and Tracy. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Good morning, guys. It is
I don't even know.
Thursday,
Is it December 1st?
December 1st. Thursday. I should probably close that door. Let the kids be warm, but
Yeah, probably.
I'm not going to jump down already. I just started. So, exciting day. We get to Chucktown today. And right when the
What?
Coast Guard starts doing their broadcast, it happens. It is that time of day. They're changing up anyway. Doesn't matter. We're going to be in Chucktown this afternoon. We're learning every day. Like, we're coming in to Cooper River Marina, and my guys James and Dustin have hooked me up on the inside, but the current rips through there. We got to get all the way up in, so to get there at slack tide so we don't get beat up and beat up another boat and worry about beating up another boat. We had to get up at the crack this morning. She even played nice today. Really, she did.
Yeah.
She's not very convincing, is she? Look at the way the tide's running on that, though. So right now, I think our estimated arrival time is right at 2 p.m. Is that about right?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. So right at slack tide, we'll be able to go in. I'm not sure if we're going to try to nose in or...
Let's run around here in a minute.
So we covered 43 nautical miles yesterday, and it was some of the prettiest section of the ICW.
You say that every day. I bet you say that to all the girls.
Maybe. And I'm going to go see one of my guys in the port here. One of my man crushes. Man crushes Michael. We get to see him tomorrow and maybe a little bit Friday morning. Then he goes out of town.
Tomorrow's Friday,
or tonight and Friday morning, and then he goes to Beantown, I think. Let's see. Bev, hope you're up and not ambulating this morning, but
no ambulating for you. That's what got you back into this mess.
I hope you're doing well this morning, bud.
I'm on my way.
We're on our way. We're worried about you. Once we get to Chucktown, we've got to run back up to Bucksport and pick up the van, the old family truckster, and then we will have some wheels to navigate around a little bit. So I got a couple things I want to chat about this morning. We kind of jumped into the boat, and we went with what we got, which is some of the best advice that I think we've ever gotten was get on the boat, live on the boat for several months before you do anything. And we're doing that. We're upgrading the navigation equipment out of necessity, but we're going to do that anyway.
Dropping like flies out of here, folks.
We have our compass.
Well,
and they navigated by compass until whoosh.
A little dry rot.
Everybody has it. We just hope this is above the waterline. Another Captain Ron reference, guys. If you haven't watched it, watch it.
Please watch Captain Ron.
And once you watch it the first time,
watch it again.
And again. So, a couple of our friends, people we know, well, let's back up.
Well, I knew where you were going with this.
Communications.
Okay.
And offshore communications. The previous owners, Stephanie and David, had Iridium Go. We have friends that have the little Garmin devices, Garmin Inreaches, that allows them to be tracked by people on land and them to send out emergency beacons and messages, and that comes with a monthly fee. We have our cellular phones. We're not sponsored by a company. We're not sponsored by anyone. If you'd like to sponsor,
can I have my coffee?
our family with anything, let us know. Hold on.
No respect.
It wouldn't be coffee with, and
He
he
didn't steal all the coffee.
if he didn't steal all the coffee.
What are pelicans?
That is a flock of pelicans.
I think it's sandhill cranes. Yeah.
It's sandhill cranes?
Yeah, see their black wings?
Oh my god, they're beautiful.
No, those are pelicans.
Anyway,
That's pelicans.
so the Garmin inReach isn't that expensive. The monthly on it isn't horrible, but it's just limited functionality. It's like $15, $16 a month, which is not bad at all. But it allows you to be tracked, you to send a message through the device or through a Bluetooth connection to your phone, but it's just short text bursts, and it goes up and goes down. Our new Apple iPhones are supposed to have satellite emergency beacon kind of thing coming online. It was supposed to come online in November, but that didn't happen. Who knows? Whatever.
I mean, I hope they weren't supposed to go up on anything that Elon put. Because that ain't going to be happening anytime soon.
So we're kind of considering, and we haven't really discussed this a whole lot, Starlink.
It's his department.
I've been on some Starlink on boats groups for months and months and months, and watched the progression of it, of the ones that self-level, and there's even ones for RVs that can track in motion. We're not worried about that. All the ones on boats, as long as you stay under 7 knots, which we can pretty much do, you can retain connectivity other than a blip or two.
7.0.
So, and even at just above 7, you might lose connectivity for a couple of minutes an hour. So we're looking at
I'm
that.
not sure which side of the crab pot's in the middle of the channel I should go on here.
We've talked about crab pots before. We're going to talk about crab pots in just a minute.
I just can't tell if that's the sandbar sticking out on the other side of that.
I would stay to the right of that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we run aground,
It's his fault.
it's on me.
Let's see how that works.
The Starlink, it gets great speed. I have seen FaceTime video calls with guys over 100 miles offshore that caught a mahi, and one guy's holding it up, talking on his phone, FaceTime to his wife. Second or third guy's all on their phone, and they're all streaming nonstop, which is good for connectivity and emergencies. The speed on it's really good. It's better than most.
I'm going to nix you on that one there, buddy.
What?
The state of the right of those.
We went to the right of that one.
Yeah.
I didn't say that one. I said the one that we just passed.
It's in the slalom course.
It can be. Think of these as weave poles, but we're the mobile weave pole. Weave poles are for dogs, for agility, where they do the jumps up and down the ramps, the A-frames, the teeter-totter and everything. The weave poles are the line of poles the dog has to go out the back for. How's that go?
Mine never did, so it doesn't matter how it goes.
Yours would go sniff, 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 sniff.
And then
Sniff, 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 sniff. Pee. Sniff, 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 sniff. And mine would go through too, lose interest. But if you had a really good dog in agility, you would go all the way through. I digress.
Yeah.
My apologies. So we're looking at that. Want to know what you guys' thoughts are. I love the hive brain. I know Steve's going, get it now. I'll help you install it.
Because he's going to install it.
And when we take Terry the terrifying terrorist turbine off the stern of our boat, we can mount her right up there. So the Starlink used to have to level and find the satellites. Now you can just mount them flat on the deck. You can mount them on the hardtop. People mount them on poles, and they for a while they were just disabling the tracking motor and just leaving it as is. And without the tracking motor, it draws less power. But I'm thinking about using that for our offshore internet and our Um, we were in the boonies last night. Internet was
But I could watch YouTube.
connectivity to the internet was very spotty, and I know this is a first world problem, so don't get me wrong there. But if we had a secondary source of data uplink, we could use that for a lot of safety stuff. I'm going to go grab some more coffee. I'm going to let her talk for 1 second about what her desires are when it comes to.
Well, you know that the only reason that you really want Starlink is so that you can continue to have coffee with Andy in the morning.
That is not the only reason.
Yes. I mean, if these poor people had to suffer through like too many days in a row without you, whatever would they do?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Okay, I'm back.
We missed you.
Did you miss me? No, I don't think you did. So, the reason I asked that is we could make things a little less
Primitive?
disjointed. Would you or would you not rely on your cell phones and a
We're going to
Starlink?
have time to stop and shark tooth hunt on our way to the marina if we keep moving this fast.
What time is it going to be there?
1:30.
That's fine. That'll be right as it's getting ready to, because it's like 2 o'clock, I think.
Oh,
We're good. Just keep on going because tide's going to flip in a little while.
yeah, I know. Yeah, but then it's going to be doing. Oh no, it's coming in.
It might be sucking us
Yeah, that's
into.
going to stop.
Let's make some tracks, baby. We can slow down later. We can.
I got it. It's cool.
Would you use that as a replacement for single sideband, which I still have on the boat, which I still don't
Leave
understand?
it alone.
I gotta turn the volume down.
No, because we got to be able to hear this some jerk hole and tell me what side he's going to pass me on.
We're gonna be able to see that behind us if we're paying attention. It's like having a rear view mirror, folks.
Yeah, no. If we had caught that guy yesterday in the rearview mirror, people would have been like, "Are you okay?"
We're
Like, I know he is not going to try to pass us around this marker, going at that speed.
He was throwing a huge wake.
Holy cow!
And I jumped up, and Tracy's like, "Don't say anything to him! Don't say anything to him! Don't get on the VHF!"
Well, no, because then they like retaliate later.
So I jumped up, and he wasn't 12 feet off our starboard side. He was coming up for a close pass. It was a marker right there, and he was going at least 35 knots. Flying. Big old sport fisherman. Jumped up on the stern and gave him a stern dad look.
Oh yes, I'm sure that's what did it.
It is. Have you seen this stern dad look?
Okay. Holy guacamole! That sunshine is making up for yesterday.
Yes, it is.
Can't even look over there. You may
But-
know what lighthouse that is over there? It's like, I don't know.
We'll look
We're
it
at
up.
the Santee. Like we stayed on the South Santee last night, so
Gorgeous. So I jump up on the stern. This guy slows down to just a crawl past us, and then took off again. But he was not slowing down at all. He would not have. He slowed down about 20 feet behind
What would
us.
you want him to do? Slow down a mile back and
No,
then
but-
go our same speed up to us?
He was not going to pass us slowly on our starboard like everyone else is on the VHF. Anyway, circling back, because we talked about the rearview mirror, and you got us off
Sorry.
topic this time.
I won't.
You can talk. I want you to talk. You're the spice of life, baby. Would you?
That's
What?
a really pretty dock for a bunch of birds to sit and shit on. I mean, I'm sure all the local birds really appreciate that. That is beautiful.
That
It's a
whole
buckhall plantation. I bet it is.
it probably is. It is a gorgeous strip of land. I keep saying this is one of the prettiest sections of the ICW. It
And
is.
then you get to the next one.
It is. It doesn't matter. Then we get down to Fernandina Beach, and we're going to be outside because we're not going to do Georgia because they don't dredge it. Everybody runs aground, even catamarans. Can you tell?
Oh no, we're up too high. This is McClellanville. Oh, so that's McClellan. Okay.
There's a
makes
big
sense.
plantation in McClellanville, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm sure, but
Would you just trust Starlink, your phone's VHF, in a in place of single sideband or not. Michael, you're going to be going, keep the single sideband. I don't get intimidated
Learn
by
something new.
much, but it
If I don't know what it is, then it can't be any good.
yeah. How often do I do that?
Well, obviously, whenever you approach something you don't know.
Whatever. I approach something I don't know every day and tear it apart, put it back together, and sometimes we even make it more efficient.
I mean, we're sitting here talking about something we don't even know if it works.
I understand that. I'm asking opinions. What's going on?
Look ahead of us.
How flat?
No. The 300 birds coming down the canal.
Oh. Yesterday was Bald Eagle Day. We saw 2 pairs of bald eagles and several other singles yesterday. That is a huge flock of birds. Anyway, awesomeness. I think that we had previously only seen up north behind us in North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland bald eagles, and we had not seen any. Wow.
Yeah, I think those got to be sandhill cranes. Yes, it is.
Okay.
I think they'll go behind us.
They'll go behind us. They are just beautiful.
No, they're pelicans. Why do they look so white underneath? Maybe it's just the way the sun's coming off of them. That's a lot of pelicans. Let's see.
There's 22. There's 22 of them.
There's one more.
Is he trying to catch up?
Yeah, y'all see him up there?
Guys, wait up! I had to make a pit stop.
See him?
23 pelicans flying north. You going the wrong way, fellas!
Like, nope, that's where the fish are.
We were in one place in North Carolina coming south, and I guess the sardines or whatever were running, Menhaden, and the pelicans would just fly along land and then dip their beak down and eat. And when they had exhausted all the fish in the area, they'd fly about 10 feet and they'd do it again. They were the smartest and laziest pelicans all at the same time. So what's your opinion on Starlink? If it's flat mounted, you're not having to worry about it tracking or anything.
And people, like, not just boaters, but if you have it in an RV setting, what has your experience been?
We do know people that have used it down in Grenada, Antigua, all over the Bahamas, so it's not geo-fenced anywhere. The speed firmware updates they've done have just brought it down to 7 miles an hour. They've done some incrementals. And I'm not really worried about that. We'll worry about it more for when we're stationary. Just give me your thoughts. What else? Yesterday we had a yummy dinner. We went to Buc-ee's, or my kids like to say,
Guess what, Daddy?
what?
There's a bald eagle.
There is another bald eagle. Wow. And they always seem to sit on a branch without any leaves or anything. Do you think they just pick it dry, or they just...
No, I bet they sit up there because they can see. I mean, look for hunting.
We've not seen any hunting yet.
They don't have to hide. Most birds would use leaves to cover themselves to hide.
When you're kind of the apex predator bird, you can throw it right out there and go like, hey, here I am!
The problem with them, though, is when you come up on them, they always fly directly away from you. Like a lot of birds will circle back over you so you can like get a good picture of them, but these guys are like straight away.
Almost always.
Hi, beautiful. Oh, maybe I can get it to follow me like I did the pelican yesterday.
She talked to this pelican as we went by it yesterday. Just talked to it.
He was just sitting on a marker.
And for an hour and a half, he would fly up, catch up, land right next to us, and then sit in the water for a few minutes, and then fly up, land right next to us.
I see you.
Oh my gosh, you're beautiful.
Don't yell at it, it's going to leave.
You're beautiful. Think you can hear me?
I do.
He's watching us.
So pretty. I just think it's so cool. Like, I never saw my first bald eagle until the key, like sea base. So what? 6 years ago.
It was 2015, I think, or 16.
We
15.
just didn't see them.
It was 15. You didn't see them. I never did.
Never.
I'm 48 years old, and I didn't see my first one until 7 years ago. And now I'm up to probably 30. Just
We've probably seen more than that. We've seen a lot.
We've seen at least 30 in this trip so far since July. It's crazy. And I was up doing some beautiful nature shots yesterday, and there was a ruckus behind me. I couldn't make out what they were saying. And next thing I knew, there's a porpoise right under me into the trampoline. But I was focused on holding the phone and not dropping it in the water.
I think what we were saying is, there's porpoise underneath you.
And I missed the shot. About 20 yards in front of us, one jumped completely out of the water. Completely out of the water right in front of us. They were having a good time. We probably ran past, I'm not going to say ran over, ran past
Because that is definitely not legal.
5 pods yesterday. And then we had a pod this morning that we saw way in front of us. They surfaced a few times. They surfaced in front of us about a minute before we passed where they were. And then we never saw them again at all.
They're like hates.
They're spooks. They're hates. I swear that they come up underneath the boat and they laugh at us because they're like, I bet they're trying to look for us.
But they're looking for us.
I bet they can't find us. Oh, so we're going to make it Charleston Day. You excited?
Shh. We don't say things like that.
Yes, we do. We're practically in Charleston now.
We don't make definitives.
We do.
Oh, you mean even if Cito had to pull us in, we're going to make
We're
it
making it to Charleston today. We have the premium, baby. They're supposed to tow us dock to dock if we need to.
Okay.
I got
Well, how? Okay. Tell them that's fine.
We're holding position and slow pass on our port side. Thank you very much.
So I'm dead in the middle of the channel.
If he fouls his props on all these crab pots, it's his fault because he said he was going to pass us on the port. He's the overtaking boat.
I just didn't even know he was back there. So much in the rearview mirror there, bud.
Because can you guys see him coming up there? It's right there. We're giving him a little extra room. Now, one thing that we've really noticed on this trip is when we started heading north, there were a lot of crab pots down in the south. You hear about all the crabbing in Chesapeake Bay, Virginia, Maryland. And as we got further north, there were less and less pots. And we saw right around Annapolis, it's the only place we really saw it, the people that put down the floating lines. And they had this hook that they would lift the line up, and on the lines they tied chicken necks. And they would just motor around in a loop on their line. And usually it was the husband at the wheel, and the wife sat up in a chair and just used a little net to scoop the crabs off the line as they were hanging onto the chicken necks. Soulmate? I think he has a head gasket problem.
I think he doesn't understand how wake affects a boat when you take off next to it. But that's okay. It's better than the alternative.
He was still much nicer than most.
That just lulls my children back to sleep downstairs.
It does. But once we got about 20 miles south of Myrtle Beach, the intercoastal waterway has just been lined on both sides, just pretty much at the edge of the deep channel, all the way down with crab pots on both sides.
That's because the crabs migrate. So they get too cold, their legs just pop off.
They don't migrate from Virginia down to here.
Come on.
Now, when the water gets colder, they move deeper into the water, so they're not in the shallows and they're not affected by the changes in temperature as much. But there's been a whole lot more crab potting in South Carolina and lower South Carolina than we've seen all the way north.
You don't think the African blue crab migrates?
No, I don't.
You need to go back
I think I need to go back.
and watch some Monty Python.
Is it an African sparrow or
Swallow.
English?
They were
Swallow.
swallows.
Swallow. How could a swallow carry a coconut? Oh, wow, we've been talking a long time.
Yeah.
It's 25 minutes.
Wow.
Wow.
Maybe he got some of his words out, then he'll stop talking to me. I'm still wearing my "Are you still talking" socks.
Are you? That's awesome. Anyway, we're going to wrap this one up. We've had everything. We've had boats pass us. We've had eagles. All of it in this one video. Stay tuned for next time. Put your comments down below about internet. Smash the like button because it helps our analytics and helps our channel. Hit the subscribe if you haven't.
Maybe next time we see you, I will have gotten somewhere warm enough to go take a shower and wash my hair.
Yes.
I mean, it still looks clean.
It
right
does.
There, right?
It looks cute. Anyway, love you guys. Tell your friends and family you love them. Clean up after yourself. Spay and neuter your pets. And go get a pluff mud board.
Yes!
I love you guys. Bye.